All right, what's good? What's popping, people? What's popping? What's popping? All right. Sorry for the prior live stream, but let's get down to the nitty gritty. It is up to you as the viewing audience to think for yourselves and be able to decipher when these bitch ass content creators are lying to your asses. Because it doesn't matter how many times I come on here and make different videos breaking down how these content creators are lying to you. It doesn't matter how many times people like Man of Tomorrow, Soul and Black, or other individuals make these videos and tell you time after time after time again how you're being deceived. At the end of the day, it is up to you as the viewing audience to make the decision for yourself, to take heed to what we're saying, and be able to recognize for yourselves when you're being deceived by some of these con artists, content creators who are just trying to capitalize off of your misery. Because if you don't, or if you don't develop the ability to properly comprehend or to decipher when you're being played, then whatever happens to you as a result of that is your fault and your fault only. All right? That's it. Plain and simple. You can't sit there and be a grown ass man or a grown ass woman and not develop proper comprehension skills. I mean, comprehension skills, in my personal opinion, is one quality that a lot of people on the internet do not have. And it seems as if they did not develop these things, man, which is sad, by the way. You know, it is my belief that a lot of people in these spaces have not developed proper social skills because they have not developed enough time in their real life to go out in the real world and socialize. Thus, they have not developed certain skills in order to be able to recognize people's behavior patterns and to recognize certain red flags in people's overall aura in order to recognize whether or not this person is a toxic person to be around. And because I have that belief that people have not socialized enough times in their lives in order to develop these skills, they come on YouTube and become so naive to when people are deceiving them. And they're not hip to when people are lying to them. Yeah, a lot of people on this motherfucker do not have or have not developed proper social skills, which is no surprise to what we're witnessing right now when it comes to a lot of these bitch made content creators in the so-called black manosphere lying to you motherfuckers. And a lot of you motherfuckers are just watching that shit and just soaking it up like a fucking sponge. And like taking every word of the lies that you being told as if it's fucking gospel. When you living in this world, you have to have the ability to think for yourself. You have to. You have to comprehend certain things, man. Or just develop comprehension skills. And in my personal opinion, a person is able to develop comprehension skills when they develop social skills. And when they develop social skills and they socialize out there in the real world, they're able to comprehend or analyze certain things that they're observing with their own eyes. And you develop that by being able to socialize out there in the real world. I'm not saying that motherfuckers got to be a super extrovert and go out there and just speak to just anybody. But motherfuckers got to have some level of socialization out in the real world. And that's going to help you develop certain traits to the point of the fact that you be able to decipher when someone is a toxic person to be around. And because I believe a lot of you people on here have not developed these things, therefore, you're easily deceived by these bitch made content creators on here who are fucking lying and deceiving you guys. And let me say this, a lot of you grown ass men on this motherfucker need to stop trying to search for an online daddy. A lot of you guys are on here searching for a damn father figure on the internet. Now, there's nothing wrong with listening to the messages that people are saying, right? There's nothing wrong with watching a video online and listening to a person's message. But what it seems to me is that a lot of you people hold certain content creators in such a high pedestal to the point of the fact that you guys look up to them as if they're another father figure or a mother figure. That's dangerous. You're pedestalizing people that you don't fucking know. And who, for the most part, don't give a goddamn about your ass. This is for real. Nah, listen, I understand that some individuals have had it hard in their lives. Some individuals probably grew up without that father figure in their lives, and that's unfortunate. But by the time you're a grown man, you have to rise above that and not be an adult male looking for some sort of father figure on the internet. I think that's what's another issue also. The search for an online daddy have you niggas become blind followers of some of the most pathetic people on planet Earth. To the point of the fact that you will listen to every word that they say without utilizing critical thinking skills to break down to see whether or not what they say is true or not. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with listening to the things that a content creator is saying. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to think for yourself, analyze, and use critical thinking skills in order to be able to break down the words of such person to see whether or not the things that they're saying is true. Because when you do that, you decrease the chances of being deceived by some loser that live thousands of miles away from you, who you only get to communicate with from behind the computer. Nah, man, you motherfuckers got to stop that. Stop trying to go on a hunt of this digital online daddy shit, man. The search for a digital daddy should be over in your lives. By the time you're of a certain age, trying to search for a father figure in your life should be over. You got to grow up out of that shit. And once again, I understand that some people had it hard in their lives to where they never had that father figure growing up. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That's bad. But you're going to have to rise above that and understand that you're a grown ass man. And that although that part of your life was probably missing, you're going to work on yourself to make sure that if you have a child, that child will not go through the things that you had to go through, that they will not have to go through the pain that you had to go through. as far as not having that father figure. It seems like a lot of people come online and trying to fill in a void that was missing in their real lives. That's what it seems like to me. And if you guys are doing that, you need to stop it. Because a lot of y'all have a tendency of pedestalizing the wrong content creator who's leading you into a burning building. I mean, these motherfuckers are literally holding your hand and saying, "Walk with me," and they're walking you to that narrow paved road and getting you closer and closer to that burning building. You feel the temperature rising. You see the smoke. You see the flames. Burning that house up and down. And the closer and closer you get to the house, the hotter and hotter you become. The more you see and smell the smoke, you smell you see the ashes falling down, and the motherfuckers holding your hand telling you, "Don't worry about that. It ain't gonna hurt you." And you being so desperate for a father figure are gonna blindly believe this motherfucker, even though your instinct and your five senses is telling you this is not a good place to be. Get the fuck out of here. But guess what? If you choose to ignore your instinct, right, and continue to allow this motherfucker to lead you into that burning building, when you walk inside that burning building and you're burnt alive, it's your fault because you refuse to think for your goddamn self and turn around and get the fuck out of there, man. What's going on, unreasonable man? What's up? It is imperative for an adult to have the ability to think for themselves. It is imperative. It is also imperative for an adult to have the ability to properly comprehend what's being told and what's being said. And it's also imperative for an adult to have some level of discernment and to be able to discern whether or not a person is deceiving them. It's also imperative for an adult to have critical thinking skills and to be able to break down and decipher what a person is saying in order to recognize whether or not that person's telling you the truth or not. Whether or not that person's telling you the truth. Sorry about that. And what it also seems to me in these spaces is that a lot of people want to have a sense of belonging, right? A lot of people want to belong to a group of friends. They want to have some level of camaraderie with a group of people. They probably don't have enough of that in their real life, or they probably want to have be able to belong to a group of people who they think is like-minded and think like them. Thus, they're comfortable. Uh, um, they're comfortable socializing in certain groups on the internet. And so, because they have a love for camaraderie, a lot of people will accept. A lot of people will, are so stuck in their desperate need to belong with a certain group of people that whenever they eyewitness or hear someone within that group that they so desperately want to belong in say something wrong, they won't correct that individual. You know, People like that who desperately want to belong within a group, or they want to feel like they belong within a group, usually are the same type of people who will accept echo chambers and echo chamber types of arguments. And and that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing because once again, when people are in that predicament, they literally are allowing themselves to be deceived because these echo chamber arguments are made to manipulate people. These these echo chamber arguments are made to manipulate people to be underneath the authority of another individual. It's like yeah, you got a lot of narcissistic people, especially on the internet, who think with this cult like mindset, and their way of thinking, right? To actually cater to their own narcissistic egos, that they have to feel as if they have some control over a person. Thus, they feel that they have to manipulate people to believe whatever bullshit that they're spewing in order, like I said before, to feel that they have control over that individual. That's manipulation. And a lot of people who want to feel as though they belong to a group, they want to have that feeling of belonging, end up being manipulated by these types of individuals. And these individuals are only going to lead you into a life of failure, anger, grief, well, more failure, more anger, more grief, and more pain. Because these individuals feel that they have, these narcissistic people, especially on the internet, feel that they have to keep you in that level of further pain and further anger and further pessimism in order to break you, for so you could keep being a blind follower of these individuals. I mean, the game is sick. Y'all motherfuckers have to think for yourselves. Think for yourselves, man. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold up. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Thank you for being patient with me, right? Yeah, I was going for a minute. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. For those of you who were, I'm going to have to edit this video on the playback and cut this what, 15, 20 minutes that I was gone. All right. Thank you. Anyway, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so you guys have to be able to actually think. You guys have to actually develop comprehension skills, which comes from developing social skills. All right, and being able to decipher whether or not someone have good intentions when communicating with you. And you are, to in my personal opinion, the only way to be able to gain that type of know-how is to be able to socialize out there in the real world. Once again, I'm not saying to be a super extrovert, but you must be able to go out there in the world and properly socialize with individuals in order to be able to develop this type of know-how. And you motherfuckers, man, I mean, you motherfuckers, y'all need to stop crying about these bitches, man. For real. Because the solution when it comes to how to properly deal with no good females is just as simple. Don't fuck with them. Stay the fuck away from them. Stay away with females that you know can do nothing for you outside of giving you a good night fucking. It's that simple. It's that simple. What's going on, man of tomorrow? What's up? Leave these bros alone. You know, a lot of you people within the viewing audience will allow a lot of these con artists, narcissistic, dysfunctional content creators to give you all of these nonsensical statements about about females and shit like that, where they haven't given you the simple solution, which is to leave them the fuck alone. If you understand that there's unfortunately a large percentage of females in this society who were socially engineered to not become wholesome wives, who were not raised with the qualities needed to make a wholesome wife, then the most basic solution is to leave them the fuck alone. It's that simple. So I don't get why people in this space. Well, I get it now, but you have a lot of people within these spaces who are so dead set in complaining about what a certain sect of females do, who they're having sex with, who they find attractive, what they're supposedly thinking about. And it's like, why do you guys even invest that much time and energy on no good bitches? You're supposed to invest that time and energy on the females who are actually cultured and was raised with the qualities that it takes to make a wholesome wife. You got these nonsensical teachings about how these content creators talk about how, well, girls love bad boys, they don't like nice guys finish last. Well, of course nice guys finish last in the eyes of no good females, of course. And then you're gonna have these fake PUAs, these fake Macs, these fake players, these fake dating coaches that's gonna tell you in order to attract these no good females, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to be a quote unquote bad boy. You know what I'm saying? And pretend to be this dysfunctional male. And when you do that, the only thing when you do that, you're showing how stupid you are, because only a stupid motherfucker will actually invest energy in trying to attract a dysfunctional ass broad. Common sense will tell you that dysfunctional females need to be avoided by all times. Yes, a dysfunctional female is not going to be attracted to a man who actually have his senses on straight, who actually have a good head above his shoulders. Of course, she's not going to find that type of guy attractive. She's dysfunctional. She likes dysfunction. She likes chaos. So you mean to tell me you're going to act as chaotic as her? That's what you're doing when you're trying to pretend to be this bad boy to attract these types of females. You're acting as chaotic. You're gonna have to act as chaotic and as dysfunctional as her in order in order to be to win her validation over. That's a waste of fucking time and energy, and it's stupid. That's a very good question, MOT. Where's the success rate, bitch ass niggas? That's a good question. I mean, people invest all this energy on a piece of dysfunctional cooch. It's very sad when you look at it. You, but if you have the ability to think for yourself, you would understand that what I'm saying is common sense. I'm not saying anything complex now. What I'm saying is and should be common sense. It's common sense to me in my wacky world. And it should be common sense to the rest of you motherfuckers. You have a long list of males within these spaces who have this never ending need of trying to win the validation of dysfunctional females, which is very contrary to what the original manosphere was teaching. The original manosphere, especially the original Black Manosphere 1.0, or at the time we were called the Black Male Collective Consciousness, or just Black YouTube, we was telling males to stay the fuck away from these types of bitches. Now you have a complete shift in beliefs where motherfuckers is teaching you how to win the validation and come across as attractive to these types of dysfunctional females who's only going to cause chaos in your fucking life. Why would you want that? Why? For what? For 10 minutes of pleasure? At the end of the day, her stink ass cooch ain't worth it. Dumbass nigga. But once again, when you have the ability to think for yourself, you'd already know this. These weak ass content creators are sitting there, all they're doing is leading you into a burning building and deceiving you to believe in certain lies as truth. Don't put yourself in that position to be deceived. Don't put yourself in that position to be led into that burning building. Be smarter than that. Think for yourself. Do your own research. If someone comes online and presents something as if it's fact, ask questions, ask for the evidence, while you yourself look up for the evidence of that. Like I said before, use critical thinking skills. Break things down. Whatever you hear from a motherfucker, whether it's in real life or online, break down what that person say to its simplest form and see if what they're saying makes actual sense or not. This is common sense once again. Because when you do this, you realize how many fucking lies you have out in these YouTube spaces. You got niggas out here thinking that Kevin Samuels Christ actually did something good for the black male collective just because he made videos clowning so-called black females who called his show, who called on to his show, not realizing that Kevin Samuels Christ was nothing more than an entertainer and a hustler who was just making money off of you gullible ass niggas watching his shit. I mean, may Kevin Samuels Christ rest in power. May he rest in power. You know, he's unfortunately he passed away, but may he rest in power. But the truth of the matter is, while he was alive, all he was doing was hustling you motherfuckers like a motherfucker. All he was doing is hustling you motherfuckers like a motherfucker. That's what he was doing. I mean, you guys brought into this concept of the high value male or the high value man, which is nothing but a title used to try to attract dysfunctional females. There's nothing but a title or yeah, a title that males use to try to attract dysfunctional females. It's like that the shiny silver coin, you know, that shiny coin to try to attract someone. You know, it was nothing but a form of this whole high value male jargon was nothing but a form, but another way of males to try to win or to try to gain validation from dysfunctional females that they shouldn't even be fucking with in the first place. You got niggas out here. You got niggas out here making content telling females who they should be having sex with. You know, oh, you should pick better men. Like these bitches wasn't picking better niggas before then. Before then, what makes you think they're gonna do the same shit now? But really, when these niggas tell these bitches that shit, what they're saying is, you should be with me. That's what they really saying. They indirectly begging these broads to be with them. It's like you shouldn't be with these types of guys. You should be with a guy like me. Me, accept me. Please validate me. Please validate me. Accept me. Please validate me, dysfunctional bitch. Please validate me. Fuck wrong with these niggas? What's going on, Gold P? Gold Professor, what's up? What's going on with these motherfuckers, man? But once again, When you have the ability to think for yourself, you'd be able to see what I see when it came to this high value man jargon. There's nothing more pathetic than a male who tries to win over the validation of a group of females that never liked them in the first place. I'm going to say that again. There's nothing more pathetic than a male trying to win over the validation of a group of females that never liked them. The fuck? Or who they shouldn't even be with in the first place because these females were born and bred to be dysfunctional. They were born and bred to create havoc in a man's life. These quiches that you motherfuckers are in love with. Let's keep this shit real. The majority of these niggas in these spaces, when they cry over so-called black females, not choosing them and choosing some other guy over them, they're really crying about the quiches in the world, right? They're really crying about the quiches of the world. That's what they're crying about. That's what they're doing. They're crying over the fucking quiches of the world. And you see, this is where I keep saying that I'm probably from another planet. No, I'm not probably from another planet. I am from another planet. Because in my wacky world, males that have sense stay as far away from the quiches as possible, knowing the type of end results that they could place themselves in if they would dare have relations with quiches. See, males with actual sense in my wacky world are in the search of looking for the non-quiches of the world. The ones who do not have the dysfunctional qualities that quiche possess. That's what goes on in my wacky world. But for some reason, we have a whole lot of these motherfuckers who come in these spaces, and when they speak upon the male and female dynamics or the dating dynamics, they're really sitting there complaining about how Keisha doesn't show them enough attention. That's what it really is. And you must be, and you like motherfuckers like that must be some uniquely stupid motherfuckers to actually want Keisha's validation. You guys have to be uniquely stupid to desire Keisha's validation. But if you had the ability to think for yourself, you niggas would already understand what I'm saying without me having to tell you this shit. Because what I'm saying really is just common sense. Once again, I'm not stating anything that is complex. I'm not giving you anything that is far advanced. I'm telling you basic common sense. Right, they won't let Keisha go. Right, they won't let Keisha go. Keisha's like crack to them. Keisha's like crack to them. You know, they out there in the street scratching themselves and shit. Late at night, looking for Keisha. You know, all hyperactive and shit, like a crackhead and shit. Yo, Keisha. You know, they fucking mouth all ashy, lips all ashy and crusty and shit. They haven't taken a shower in 2 days. Looking to, you know, looking to please their addiction to Keisha. You know, scratch themselves. Going out there talking about, yo, where Keisha at? Yo, Keisha, let me take this fucking string tied around my arm. Get some Keisha. Let me get Keisha. Keisha, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Keisha. They high on Keisha, boy. Motherfuckers is high on Keisha. They will not let Keisha go. Yeah, like the bass head from Medicine Society. I got these hamburgers. What he told old dog? I got them cheeseburgers. He said hamburgers or cheeseburgers. I forgot what he said. He said, I got them cheeseburgers. You know? Yeah, right. Keisha, I got these burgers, man. They double cheeseburgers, man. Please, Keisha. Please give me some validation, Keisha. Please. I'm telling you, Keisha's validation is like crack to these weak ass niggas, man. It's like, it's crack to these weak ass niggas. Yo, listen, 2023 is the beginning of a new drug epidemic. Keisha's validation. These motherfuckers are addicted to Keisha's validation, dog. I'm telling you. Yeah, letting Keisha stay rent free in their heads. Letting Keisha stay rent free in their heads. Yeah. What up, antisocial socialite podcast? What's going on, mommy? I'm telling you, boy, they love themselves some Keisha. They love Keisha's validation. I'm telling you, they're willing to sit down and have a negotiation table for Keisha. This is what they want. The Keishas. Boy. And you know what's so funny? You know what's so ironic about this shit, right? That it's not hard to even attract Keishas. It's very easy to attract Keishas. But the thing is that if you have any sense, you would not desire to attract the Keisha because, like I said before, sorry to repeat myself, but repetition is the mother of knowledge. Therefore, you must keep repeating yourself in order to lodge these gems inside the minds of people, since people are easily so forgetful, right? That a person with some sense would know to stay away from Keisha because they know the end result of being with the Keisha. Oh, God forbid if you get Keisha pregnant. God forbid if you get Keisha pregnant. God forbid if you get Keisha pregnant. Next thing you know, you're stressing now having these quote unquote baby mama issues. And then you have to accept the fact that your seed is growing up in a world with a dysfunctional mother, which may increase the chances of your seed growing up to be fucked up too. And knowing that you was partially responsible because you were so desperate for Keisha's validation that you're willing to get Keisha pregnant. What type of mindset is that? Motherfucker, dog, you'll actually you'll actually benefit more by jumping off a fucking cliff. The fuck? Nah, it's already a war in the manosphere. Keisha's validation. What do you think the Pookie and Ray Ray versus Educated Lame Wars was about? It was all about Keisha's validation. Just remember this: when these weak ass niggas have these educated lames versus Pookies and Ray Rays, it's a competition for the World Cup, and that World Cup is the Keisha's Validation Championship Trophy. That's it. The Keisha's Validation Championship Trophy. That's what that war was always about. Same thing when it came to this Select versus non-select war, this alpha male versus beta male war. The grand prize for whoever wins that war would be Keisha's validation. So that war have always happened. The war for Keisha's validation have always been ongoing within this space. I mean, it's so pathetic out here. These niggas complain about the very same group of females that they desperately desire to be with. I don't get that. I don't get that. I really don't get that. And they desperately want to change Keisha. But it's like, once again, it goes back to the actual topic of discussion in this stream, that if you think for yourself, if you had the ability to think for yourself, you would realize that a lot of these niggas that come on here and make content crying and complaining over the lack of female attention are niggas who's desperate for Keisha's validation. Thus, purposely place themselves in a position to be humiliated by Keisha. And if you think for yourself, you would know and understand that you got to stay away from dumb motherfuckers like that, and understand that the key to not getting caught up in the game with Keisha is not fuck with Keisha at all. That's excellent, Phantom Clutch. That's excellent. That's excellent. Ronan Unsung said, and they can have it. I'm going nowhere near that nonsense like haven't been doing since, like I have been doing. I'm sure you said that you have been doing since 2018, 2019. Yeah. These motherfuckers want that Keisha Validation Championship trophy, man. They want to be able to be the last man standing to hold up that trophy, that 400-pound bitch, Keisha. Like, yes, yes, I won her validation. That's what they're looking for. Yeah, that autocorrect in the phone. I don't get the autocorrect in the phone. They should call that shit auto incorrect, because what they do is they purposely misspell the words that you've already typed down. I don't get that. Before, the autocorrect wasn't acting like this, especially on these Android phones. I remember, like, about 10 years ago, the autocorrect was not acting like this. Now these autocorrect is acting as if they're auto incorrect. Yeah, I get it. You have to think for yourselves, man. When you guys, when you in life, you have to be able to think for yourself. When you maneuver in this society, in the real world, in the internet world, whichever world you're in, you have to be able to think for yourself and to judge things for yourself in order to be able to recognize whether or not a person is deceiving you. Because a lot of these people on here will have you make bad decisions if you listen to them without thinking for yourself. No, they're not even trying to save the community, Phantom Clutch. They're not even trying to save the community. They're trying to save their spot online for Keisha. That's what they're trying to save. These niggas are trying to save their spot online for Keisha. Yeah, Ronan said, do it. I'm currently interviewing for a more technical position, having better luck lately, so going to see what happens. Yeah, good luck. Good luck on that, Ronan. Keep at it. That's excellent. Keep at it. And you know, like Man of Tomorrow said, that the easiest way in order to not place yourselves in this position is, of course, A, stay the fuck away from toxic individuals, and B, be as productive as you can possibly be. Because when you're as productive as you possibly can be, you can easily take yourself to another environment where you won't have to worry about Keisha or Mr. Maggle or Mr. Daggle. We was talking about that ever since the 1.0 era. We was talking about that. We was talking about being productive. We was talking about advancing. Black males should look to advance in every area of their lives and place themselves in a position to stay the fuck away from toxic females. We was talking about that shit. All of a sudden, when the 2.0 version of the Black Manosphere came into being, motherfuckers made a U-turn. Motherfuckers trying to tell you how to get to Keisha's panties. Nah, motherfuckers made one hell of a U-turn. Well, I tried to sound like a car hitting the brakes, but I end up sounding like a fucking cat. But you know, they said U-turn. Let's go back to Keisha. Yo, them niggas said U-turn. Let's go back to Keisha. You know, I'm like, damn, you just exited Keishaville. Now you're gonna make a U-turn and go back to Keishaville? What the fuck? Yo, this shit is crazy. Yeah, they're doing that flashpoint in the conversation. Yeah, they're doing that. Yeah, yeah. What up? What up, Shaw Willie? What's up? They want to flashpoint the conversation. Yeah. I mean, when you think for yourselves, you'll be able to recognize that you'll be able to recognize that a lot of the statements that these dumbass niggas make on here are nothing but a bunch of false doctrines. It's nothing but a bunch of false doctrines, man. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Well, she said your title was my motto. Okay, no doubt. It should be everybody's motto. It should be everybody's motto. Think for yourself, man. You have to use wisdom when you're in this world. When you maneuver in this world, you have to maneuver with wisdom. You have to maneuver with knowledge and understanding. You have to be able to judge things for yourself. You have to be able to break down and analyze things for yourself and question everything. Question everything. Research everything. Or at least research as much as you can in order to find the facts for yourself. Think for your motherfucking self. And always listen to your gut instinct or your gut feeling. Some people call it the gut feeling, but us, us as Israelites, we understand that that's the Ruach or the Holy Spirit talking to us. When you're in a certain environment and something inside you is telling you, no, get the fuck out of there, listen to that because that's what's going to save you. They kind of did. Yeah, they kind of did. And they also Phantom Clutch. Another thing that they did to ruin the conversation is by trying to infiltrate into the passport bro movement themselves with their dumbasses. They trying to infiltrate into the passport bro movement and engage in a whole bunch of buffoonery. Yeah, man, think for your motherfucking selves, man. That's all I have to say in this motherfucker. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.